Awesome. So yes, this is a freshly ordered this Thursday on launch day. I think it was 6 p.m. I think it was a 6 p.m. batch that I got in on Amazon. I was trying for Walmart, couldn't get through Walmart, got through on Amazon, and this arrived today. So that arrived pretty quickly. That's pretty amazing. So what we're going to do today is we're going to unbox this. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time unboxing it. Just going to go through, get this out, show you what it looks like. But more importantly, we're going to hook this thing up live. And we are going to go through the setup live. Obviously, cutting the camera for any time I'm putting passwords or anything like that in. So you'll have to bear with me for that type of stuff. And we'll launch at least a game. At least Astro's Playground, although I do have, and depending on how big the day one patch that we know always goes along, I do have Spider-Man Miles Morales Legendary Edition. So we can plug that in, see how long it takes to download an update, if there is one. There always is one. And we'll go from there and see what it looks like. I'm going to try to keep an eye on chat, but mostly after the unboxing, so bear with me there. So we got some knives. Yes, we've got some tape on this thing, so we're going to need some knives. I got the boring little knife. That's the usual one I use. That's okay. This one's cool. This one's like all nice and silvery. That's a nice, good, sharp one. That's okay. Let's see. One of these two, I think, is going to be it. Because these ones got nice. This is the SWAT one. That one's a nice one, too. So, not shiny at all. Nice and blacked out. Smith & Wesson SWAT. We'll go with that today. I do have a cat that runs around, so safety first. We're going to close all the knives back up. We do not want the little one messing with anything as he runs by. Okay. So it looks like we got tape just on the top. From what little I have seen, it's a box within a box scenario anyway, so just a little bit. Nice box. I kind of miss, and I don't know why the PlayStation didn't do this. Xbox did, though. I kind of miss where they have the games on the back. Like the old Atari 2600 days where they got the games. I do got some damage on mine, a little bit of bump right here. It's probably well padded inside, so we're going to find out. Oh, wow, that's weird. They even tear away from the sides there. The one side already tore away a little bit. Okay, and then let's lay this down. The inner box just comes right out. So all you have is this thin, super thin cardboard, almost a vinyl wrap for that matter. And you got the real box. And even that got a little bit of a ding on it that side, but that's fine. No tape here. Oddly, some weird markings there, but that's some pressure or something. So straight open up. It literally says to lay it down. And it specifically says to lay it down whole side first. So I actually appreciate that. Let's see if we can't get this on the secondary cam here. Get a little close up. Appreciate that they have specific instructions there on how to open that up. Oh, that fell. You know what? That's okay. I'm going to have a couple small things that happen because I kind of did this last minute-ish, even though I knew it was coming. Okay, so that opens up. Seriously, they tell me to put it that way, but it opens up and everything falls out. I clearly followed instructions, and this stuff just fell right out. This is a top little box, though. So this is your accessory box at the top. You got your cable. Oh, this is going to be fun trying to figure out where to plug this in. Hello, Mr. Parker. You want to sniff? Boy. Cable. We've got our quick start guide, which none of us are going to look at. Some parents might. We've got a safety guide. Really? Playable discs. Okay, in multiple language. We're not going to put that. Got a controller. Okay, DualSense controller. This first time. Oh, I didn't grab one of my other controllers. Cool. Cat, knife, close, safety. Let's see if I get one of my helpers to bring me up a PlayStation 4 controller. This should be interesting. As Mr. Parker digs away at that one. Okay, we'll see if that happens. Okay, yes, here we go. PlayStation DualSense controller. Yeah, nice. The texture on the back, spoilers if you haven't heard about it, it's got this nice texture on the back, feels good actually. And if you look super close with like a magnifying lens, it is actually the symbols that they use for their buttons, the circle, square, triangle, and cross. Cross now being the default button as opposed to circle as it was in Japan. So they told Japan that apparently they're going to set it up that way. So good feel. I mean, the triggers, which have that adaptive tension, we've talked about that before. Obviously, you have to have them powered on for that. But the triggers just by themselves, just the pull of them, have got just a nice little bit of tension on them. Feels pretty good. You set it down and it doesn't activate the triggers like some of the older ones did. And actually, the way the triggers are shaped, you got a little notch right here, and that's what it actually sits on. But it does not depress the trigger, which is good. USB-C for both charging and connecting it to the PlayStation. The cross, or the D-pad, I should say. D-pad's got a good feel to it. They almost look like separate buttons. So the D-pad almost looks like separate buttons there, but it isn't. When you press them, you feel that the entire D-pad moves as a unit. So that's kind of nice. And then you got the touch-sensitive pad at the top. So we'll get back to this when we can power it on and hook it up. In fact, what I'm going to look for is a USB-C cable. Sure enough, that's what we got right here. I'm going to go ahead and plug that into a charging port so we get as much charge on it as possible until we get this thing set up. Another nice thing. This charging cable for the controller is a good size. I mean, that's a good 4-foot cable. Yep, shorter than what? 4-foot cable. So yeah, that's kind of nice to see a cable that size. Sneak in here. There we go. What are you doing? You goofball. He wants to unbox it just as much as we do. So that's good. Okay, continuing to look through here. I assume, okay, well, yeah, we have an HDMI cable. So to take advantage of the higher frame rates, especially if you're going to 8K, which none of us are right now, but the higher frame rates of 4K, you need a 2.1 cable. And usually it's marked I do not see anywhere on this. I see several markings, but I don't see the markings I'm looking for. Silly me, ain't got my glasses on, so can't see anything anyway. So yeah, HDMI, high-speed HDMI cable, sure, but it doesn't say if it's a 2 or 2.1. That, I think, is PS3. Did you find that in the media room? Next to the PS3?
I don't know what it was. It was a PlayStation.
Yes. No, that's fine. That's PS3. It's a good start. They're similar.
Where's the 4 at?
It'd be downstairs. probably in the white drawer thing.
I was looking to see.
You did very good. You got one. It'll be a very good comparison. Yeah, it just says high speed cable. Doesn't say if it's 2.1 rated or not. But the important thing is, I picked up today, along with this delivery, some 8K 2.1 cables. So we're not going to use that at all. Okay, nothing else in the accessory box other than this piece. I'll throw that to the side. So what we got here is the fun part. Now this is going to be fun in like 5 or 6 years from now when you start to see these things showing up in pawn shops and being sold as used devices, especially if we get a halfway generation refresh like we did last generation, is this. The base. And you need the base regardless of which orientation that you have the PS5, whether it's vertical or horizontal. So this is going to be very interesting how this goes. Now, it does rotate. Yes, we will open that. You are with the rest of the people that you want to get it open. It does rotate enough where it opens up the slot, where it has the screw for screwing it in. I'm going to try to get that out because we are going to try to get this vertical here on my desk. So I've got the screw out, and then it opens up the center hole. And it moves pretty nicely. Oh, yes, we found a PS4 controller as well. So we got PS3. Thank you for my lovely assistant. More lovely than Vanna White herself. So if you rotate it for the horizontal way, it closes up both the center hole and the screw hole, the screw storage hole. You rotate it the other way, and it releases this clip on one side and opens up those. So we're going to take advantage of that here just a little bit. Screw, we'll get the camera a little bit closer. We'll take a look at these as well. But let's finish this unboxing so we can get this thing going, especially since Parker was already trying to help us. So we open it up. We've got nothing but the console left. That big boy in there. It's got great padding all around it. Slides right out. Look at that. Nothing else in that box. We'll throw that to the side. It is well protected. Hey, buddy. Hello, Mr. Buddly Boo. There we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you cannot. This thing is not designed to sit by itself. And you can tell that as soon as you get it out of the box. It just sits really wonky. It's got, I like that they wrapped it up really good, more than once around, which is pretty impressive. And there we have it. The PlayStation 5. Oh my goodness. Ah. Oh, it's dense too. This is not full of air. Ah, it's really, really thin in the back. I did not think it was going to be that thin. That is amazing. So, just to give you some idea, ruler. I know you can't see it that well on the camera. There's a little bit over a foot ruler just before side. So you got a little bit over a foot in length, height, depending on which way you lay it. Of course, we're going to go vertical today. You can't lay it down on its side at all because it's just not going to work. You have to have the stand. Some people could get away with just sitting like that, but I don't think that's a good idea. There's a little bit of ventilation on the bottom. So you probably do want it on the stand so it still has that little bit of ventilation. Sure, these side panels keep it up off the ground a little bit, so there is a little bit of ventilation there, but let's face it, if you're on a rug or something, it's not going to cut it. On a desk, it might work. It's pretty stable like this. I think we're going to get a lot more stability with the stand, though. Before we jump into that, though, like I said, it's super thin on the back. Look at this. I mean, it's like down here is the normal thickness that you'd expect for a console. I'm not sure if it's going to be thicker or thinner on this side for the digital edition with the, because obviously you got that big front kind of bump for the discs. But that side part, man, it gets That's an inch and a half. It's an inch and a half right there. It just narrows right down there. And they try to emulate that in the front. As you can see right here, they're trying to now. Nope, you can't see because Parker's right here in the front. They try to get that narrowness. They're trying to get that idea of thinness in the design there. Well, okay. So you've seen most of this before if you've been interested in PS5. The back's got 2 USB 3s, Ethernet, HDMI, and of course power and the lock area that you find on like laptops to lock a chain to it. The front, as you can already see, has both USB-C and USB-A, or is it B, the normal USB. And this got buttons for both power and eject. And these are buttons. They got rid of the capacitive touch and went to full-on buttons. So you got the screw hole right there, which is solid. How I would put screw in. This is where instructions come in handy. So there is a screw hole where I'm supposed to screw it in. Oh, by the way, these plastic fins here, these are plastic. They're extremely bendable. They don't feel like they're going to break, but don't pick it up that way because it probably would break after a while. So yeah, this needs to go on like that. Clearly, but there's got to be a way to move that screw hole out of the way. So, man, I threw those instructions away, that quick start guide, and now I'm going to have to look into it. I guess there was a reason. Yep, hook, blah, blah, blah. Use a coin or similarly shaped object to tighten the screw. That's funny. Okay. It's just a cap. So you're supposed to be able to just pull that cap out right on the bottom here. Yep. Simple fingernail. Cap goes into a section into the bottom here. So kind of stores itself. That's kind of nice. There we go. And we're going to get this mostly screwed in. And we're going to have to go with a thumbnail for today. We'll just hand tighten this for today. And actually, that's not too bad. So, and that gives it a little bit more stability. Okay, so it's unboxed. Let's take a look at this thing live.